The applause is gone, the silence is thick. Lean in. Meghan's mask is slipping, and just as the drama peaks, Harry's next move could shatter everything, leaving even Piers Morgan lost for words.
What do you think of it?
This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
That is so beautiful.
No.
They're ridiculous.
She never stops whining.
Meghan Markle Googled, is the race card an actual card?
I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers. Slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
I think the woke have been asleep.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
Well, if Meghan and Harry can quit their family, you can too.
Is Meghan Markle the Duchess of drama or just misunderstood?
Here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No.
Did her
One tear traces Meghan's cheek. Does it soften hearts or sharpen unease as Jamie Kern Lima's fixed smile lingers? Wait, the judgment is brutal.
by the way?
Dan, when you do interviews on your show, do you do the Jamie Kern Lima reactions? Yes. Oh my God, there's like...
The web gathers like storm clouds. Mockery over her Time 100 stage, Harry's BBC plea dismissed as self-pity, hushed corridors calling Meghan a blooming narcissist. Spotify slips away, Netflix numbers dive, and palace gates begin sliding shut. Yet she still signs gifts HRH, daring fate. Hold fast, the fracture about to open will echo through every marble hall tonight. Its shockwaves could shake crowns and friendships alike forever.
96% of people who watch these videos don't subscribe. Don't be one of them. If this hit you, click the subscribe button so the truth doesn't get buried.
40 minutes into the podcast, this little picture, quite a grainy picture, flashed up, which shows a basket of, homemade preserves with a card on it, HRH. Duchess of Sussex, Meghan.
You dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream.
I find it a little bit cringe to give a gift to a close friend and sign it Her Royal Highness.
Why even in private? She's using that full title, Her Royal Highness.
I would never refer to myself as Her Royal Highness.
They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm gonna put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends.
Promised raw honesty, bare face, no script, yet each laugh lands like a rehearsed cue, each silence polished. Hold your breath, the mask's seams will strain in the next breath hard.
I just think she's crying for sympathy, playing the victim, when there's nothing to be a victim about, and there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle that she's chosen to live.
Katy Perry pretending she's an astronaut somehow rings truer than this heart-to-heart. Jamie's syrupy devotion smothers doubt, leaving an echo where truth should reside. Listen, the brand engine below is about to roar and drown every question you dared whisper aloud.
Work so hard. The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that, and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line and what's the cadence of it.
In this interview, she really goes on these tangents of talking about how stressful her day is. And when I was listening to it, I was thinking, no, that sounds like a normal day to me, Meghan.
Headlines cheer a half-hour sellout, yet stock was slimmer than a palace biscuit tray. Jubilation masks brewing anger as deliveries stall. Inboxes fill with apologies and faith begins to crack. Stay. The oncoming backlash could scorch reputations and fan loyalty alike into ash before morning light, leaving silence behind echoing.
Makes her look good.
She's trying to sell herself as this wholesome mother who's baking cookies and making tea for the rest of the family.
She is doing a cooking show on Netflix. I only watched 5 seconds of it and I thought she was going to cut her wrist by trying to zest a lemon. This girl has never been in the kitchen in her life.
So when she's trying to sell these kind of, I'm sorry, but crappy cheap tats to middle America, she needs to have this relatability, and she doesn't have that at all.
Weeks drift by, orders sit in limbo, and new trademarks for yoga mats and pet bowls surface like fresh footprints in wet cement. The podcast turns into a hymn of self-praise, each line polished, each boast shining. Is this an honest reveal or a velvet curtain act? Listen closely. The velvet is thinning.
They want it both ways. These people were so mean to us and poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want it.
She speaks of nightly emails, a glowing chain meant for her children's future eyes. Picture Archie and Lilibet scrolling endlessly, love piling so high it starts to feel heavy. The flawless mother image wobbles, and the tremor you feel now grows sharper in the next heartbeat.
If I don't have meetings in the morning, then I try to do school drop-off. They're at 2 different schools. So from 6:30 in the morning on drop-off mornings for me, I'm not home till 9.
She sighs over morning drop-offs, though a nanny steadies every routine. Clips flood the feeds. Jamie calls it raw, yet repeats that Meghan never saw the questions, like a spell meant to ward off doubt. Spells break. Wait, you'll hear the snap.
You haven't seen any of the questions ahead of time, and we're in our sweats, and you look the exact same with no makeup as makeup, and we're
that's very...
Why cling to that claim? Reassuring the crowd or calming a private fear. The quiet that follows will answer, and the answer cuts deeper than any spoken line.
She's allegedly wearing no makeup. Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout, like she's completely camera ready. And she also is pretending that she's crying. There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
During promotion for Suits, she was joking with one of the photographers that she can cry on command. Left eye, go. And then you watch a tear fall down her face, and then she starts cackling because she's so proud of herself.
She has this really famous thing where she says one tap left eye and she can make herself cry on demand.
Belief erodes. A critic from Daily Mail labels her tears strategic, while X murmurs that even sorrow can wear makeup and lighting. The storm cloud thickens above. Stay and feel the first heavy drop.
PR team.
It's just another lie from Meghan, where she's told us one thing about this wholesome family life that she's got, but really it's staff behind the scenes that are upholding this entire image.
Each anecdote bends back to Meghan, her brand, her scars. Critics trace the loop like a tightrope. A royal insider murmurs the tearful pivot cannot stitch what's already torn. Listen closely. The next unravel comes fast.
Repair her image.
They kind of f***ed up their whole thing. Went way too hard on we're victims, and they assessed the mood of their generation and America correctly in that we are lovers of victimhood.
Yeah.
But America did finally find a way to say, you know what? We love victims, but you two, we've just had a little too much of it.
I mean, tone deaf could be Meghan Markle.
At time 100, polite smiles hang like masks. Someone wonders who looks more unreal, the Hollywood friend beside her or the Duchess beneath the lights. Doubt gathers like storm clouds. The first rumble is seconds away.
She didn't make the Times list of cool people, but she did get invited there because her agency probably bought her access. This is one of the goofiest things ever.
Because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving.
What in the hell word salad is this?
Tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. Level of charm that you find people have when they see these tiny little dried petals is something I can't fully wrap my head around, but I appreciate.
I'm elevating it by putting dried flower petals on all of my food.
She didn't make the 2025 list, yet speaks as if crowned. Jam, honey, cupcake sprinkles, tiny tokens lifted high. Commentators say the nod feels more like a question mark than a crown. That question is about to sharpen into a blade.
Richer than a crown.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
I mean, Meghan did claim that before dating Harry, she never Googled him, and she said she didn't know much about the royal family.
It was planned from the beginning. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
Before they met?
Yes.
Harry's BBC plea turns a father's silence into blame, even as cancer shadows the throne. Outrage sparks and the royal seam strains. The next heartbeat may tear it open.
He lost at the trial court level on this push to make the British royal family pay for his security when he goes to the UK.
Once they realise that myself, my wife, and our kids are happier outside of the institution, please just look at the fact. Look at the risks, look at the threat, look at the impact that if anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, look where the responsibility lies.
What a manipulation. My father's grandchildren. They're gonna and it will be his fault.
It's gaslighting on a grand scale.
Columns label his grief performance. Insiders call it tasteless, and X brands him entitled. The thunder of distrust rolls nearer. Stay and feel the strike when it lands.
As soon as Meghan Markle made it absolutely clear that it was all about the moolah, it was all about the big bucks, it was all about trading off the royal name, but she was lining up these deals when she was still the Duchess of Sussex. She was in talks with Disney, she was in talks with the publishing companies, in talks with Netflix. At that point, the late Queen Elizabeth II, quite rightly in my opinion, said, no, there is no half in, half out. So you can go, you go with our blessing, but you lose everything.
Still watching? You're exactly who this channel was made for. Hit subscribe. We break down what really went wrong. The Wider Mood calls Harry's interview an overblown lament, a fresh cut in a royal rift many blame on Meghan's quiet fury toward the family. Stay close. The next judgment digs even deeper into motive.
But I have zero sympathy for him. The fact that he is putting his father through this in the final years of his life. And Meghan, there are members of the royal family who believe that Harry's behavior hastened the death of the late Queen Elizabeth II.
I believe that too. That's what I say. I say those two.
Megyn Kelly brands Meghan, a malignant narcissist. Celia Walden of The Telegraph likens the podcast to a private therapy booth. And Page 6 says Goop turned her away as too divisive. When every tier sells a product, critics whisper it feels staged, not sincere. Keep listening. The mask may slip in the next whisper.
And this podcast with Jamie Kern Lima was absolutely car crash. I mean, Jamie Kern Lima is actually a very successful woman, self-made billionaire. However, she is a fame whore because, you know, she first found fame by appearing on the first series of Big Brother. She believes that she's the new Oprah Winfrey. And the problem is, you realize these are the types of people Meghan Markle is surrounding herself with. And none of them are prepared to ever give her a dose of reality.
Host Jamie Kern Lima's bright enthusiasm draws heat. Many call it forced, the shine of practiced praise rather than real belief. The pushback is only gathering strength. Watch it swell.
Praise.
Usually when we're together, we're in our cozy sweats and no makeup. So that's how we are today. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet. Yet.
The Royal Rogue on YouTube hears her pitch soar into shrill agreement, a mirror reflecting Meghan's every sigh, every grin. Another voice prepares to cut through that echo, don't look away.
But I'm happy. I'm happy, and the kids are healthy, and H is great, but I'm trying to also enjoy these big wins right now.
Yes.
Total agreement turns the talk into an infomercial, The Independent warns, noting both women seemed untouched by everyday worries like the price of eggs. The gap between their stage and real life widens, and the next revelation may split it open entirely.
Jamie Kern Lima, who seems to be even more fake and insufferable than the Duchess.
Very first question, because I think in friendship it's so important, and I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind.
Yes, it really is that awful. I may have blacked out from smacking myself.
On X, the episode is called A Coronation of Praise. Meghan lifted high, Jamie Kern Lima applauding from below. Jamie, a billion-dollar founder, could have asked the questions that scrape away varnish, yet every query dissolved into gentle admiration. Listeners searched for a raw edge, one unguarded admission, a moment that trembled, but found only layers of polished compliments stacked like mirrored walls. When the applause faded, an uneasy hush lingered, wide and hollow, begging for something real to fill it. Wait, the hush is about to break its silence.
Don't forget, she's a princess too, and Harry is slaying dragons to rescue her.
Look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final level. And what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Who's Harry rescuing her from? The family she abandoned before making him abandon here?
Tears glint on a podcast mic. Anger flares on a BBC lens, and a single doubt hangs thick. Confession or performance? A fragile nod from Time 100 wobbles under the weight of jam jar triumphs. Staff murmurs of sharp temper carry through palace corridors, and critics claim the couple shapes every wound into marketable shine. Admirers argue the shine is simply survival, yet the watching crowd leans toward suspicion, sensing each emotion set carefully under lights and lenses. The film between truth and theater thins, ready to tear like gauze. Tomorrow may slice it clean. Stay close. The cut is coming.